Hi, I'm Beth. The focus of this mindfulness-based meditation is on shifting attention. As a reminder, mindfulness is paying attention with purpose. So we're choosing to place our attention in a certain way, in a certain direction, toward a certain object. Sometimes the object of our mindful attention is our breath. You may have also heard the idea of meditating on a candle. So in that case, the mindfulness object would be the flame of the candle. Today, rather than sustain attention, we are going to work towards sustaining attention, but we're also going to build the skill of shifting our attention. So by being able to shift our attention, we work toward a sustained attention. So that'll be today's practice. As always, begin by finding a comfortable seat. You could be seated in a chair like me. You can absolutely be lying or in another position. The key, though, is that you remain alert. So if lying down is likely to make you fall asleep, then best to be seated in a place that you feel really comfortable and yet can still be alert. You might consider having your feet firmly on the floor, your palms of your hands resting on your lap or a desk or a pillow. So take those first few moments simply to arrive in this space, to be here, to prepare for this short practice. So in shifting our attention, we are going to direct our attention in different ways. So the first way we'll do is shifting our attention to something in our body. Something neutral. I often do this exercise, I call it feel your feet, shifting your attention to your feet. For most of us, unless your feet are in pain or uncomfortable, the feet are a relatively neutral part of the body. If your feet are uncomfortable or in pain right now, don't use your feet, use some other part of your body. Your hands, your elbow, whatever it is, direct your attention there to that part. I'm going to stay with the feet. And simply feel your feet. Feel that part. So as I feel my feet, I can feel the soles of my feet resting on the ground. I can feel the fuzziness of my socks. I can even wriggle my toes a bit in my slippers. Now, as you do this, notice that your attention may slip away to something else, and that's natural. So let's intentionally shift the attention to something else. Let's shift the attention to something that you see in the room. So it might be something directly in your line of sight. You might look around, whatever works for you. So directly in my line of sight, I see a plant. And then I'm going to focus on the plant, noticing everything I can about the plant. So you do that with your object, wherever you've shifted your attention to. Notice, I'm noticing that the leaves are green and lighter green, almost white. That's in a black pot. It has a purple cozy around it. It looks pretty healthy, like it's got enough water. Now again, as you do this, your mind may wander. Let's try shifting the mind back to the first object, the thing in your body, the neutral thing. Shift your attention back to your feet or whatever you chose neutrally and explore that area a little further. Notice anything that you didn't notice before. Maybe a sense of warmth or coolness to your feet or your other part. And then shift back to the thing in your room, also something that should be neutral. My plant is a pretty neutral thing, so shift back to the thing that you are looking at that was neutral. And again, describe it to yourself. I noticed this time that it's outgrowing the pot a little bit. And if your attention wanders, remember, we're simply bringing it back or between the two things. And we're going to make it a little challenging for ourselves. So for a moment, shift your attention to something that's a little bit less pleasant. Not the worst thing that you can imagine, just something that's a little bit less pleasant. So if it's something in your body, you might notice a feeling of tiredness, or maybe you have kind of a familiar ache in your back, or maybe your feet are tired if you've been on your feet all day. That's not a neutral thing for you. There's a little ache there. So search around your body if you notice any aches and pains, or maybe you're a little bit uncomfortably cold right now. And if nothing in your body is unpleasant, you can draw to mind a recent neutral experience. Remember, low on the unpleasantness scale. Something that maybe was a conversation that didn't go so well, a thing you ate that you didn't enjoy so much. Notice how well you're able to stay with the details of the unpleasant thing. It tends to be that our mind clings to those things. So then from that, I'm not going to ask you to stop thinking about that, but I am going to ask you to shift your attention back to one of the other things that you had been previously focused on. So the neutral thing in your body, the neutral thing in your room. Start to shift your attention back. Now you may well notice that when you do that, now that we've called up something unpleasant, that is going to draw your mind. Your mind is going to want to go back to the least pleasant thing because that's what it does. We have a negativity bias. We tend to go to that place. Notice that with kindness, like, oh yeah, I'm human. That's what we do. And then shift your focus back to something neutral. We can also shift our focus to something more pleasant. That's another step of this exercise. So thinking about a warm hug we received earlier, a yummy cup of coffee, something that was, again, even a little bit pleasant, but to shift our attention away. For now, we'll stay attention with the neutral. The neutral is usually available to us, some kind of sensation in our body, something around us that we can see, a sound, a neutral sound. I can also hear a train rumbling in the background. And remember that each time your mind shifts off the thing that you're trying to direct it to, the neutral thing, that is not wrong. That is human. That is you. That is noticing that our minds are busy, which in many cases is a really good thing. What meditation teachers call the magic moment is that when we notice our mind has shifted, when we notice we've shifted to something else, that is the point where we have a choice to draw our mind back. And that is absolutely the point of noticing. If we don't notice that we've lost focus, that we've started to drift or shift, then we can't make the choice to bring ourselves back to the chosen place for our attention. And in the case of the meditation, it's a place we chose, like the breath or a feeling, a sound. In other cases, it might be the task or activity ahead of you. So take just another moment or two to notice where your mind is right now without even me giving you any instructions. And then see if you can gently give it a little shift, prod, push in a different direction, remembering that those thoughts that were there don't have to disappear. Another way you can think of it is allowing the thing that you're trying to shift from to recede a little bit to the background of your brain, the background of your sensibility or your awareness, and then where your front brain, your front forefront attention is, that's where you choose it to be. Like all mindfulness skills, this takes practice. If you've never done anything like this before, it will not be easy the first time you try it, and that is normal. I hope that this short video gave you a little bit of opportunity to practice and a skill, a new thing that you can try further on your own. Thank you so much for joining me today.